So how long has it been that we waited for this release right here? I can remember when Grindhouse first announced that they were starting to go blue on a lot of their titles. I kept waiting and waiting for this one, and I know they put out The Beyond, which is great. They put out Cannibal Holocaust, which is great. They put out Cannibal Ferox, which is great. Grindhouse hasn't released nothing bad yet on Blu-ray, ladies and gentlemen. And that streak continues right here with Pieces finally on Blu-ray. And it looks amazing. Now, I'm not one to sit and talk about, technical stuff when it comes to transfers and all that. This movie looks greater than it's ever looked. Not that the old DVD looked horrible, because the DVD, it looked like, an old Italian horror film. But in HD now, you can tell that they put the time and effort into this. And, I hate to sound corny, and I hate to repeat myself because I did the Rent review, but there's always been a debate about who would be the Criterion Collection of the horror world, right? Who out there would be the Criterion, caliber, I guess, company that would put all the effort and time and all that into horror films? It would be Grindhouse releasing, folks. And I say this as a man who is one of the biggest Scream Factory fans in the world, one of the biggest Arrow fans in the world, and one of the big Synapse fans in the world. This right here is probably going to be the best release you get this year. And I ain't even talked about the movie. I mean, if you've seen Pieces and you know what it's about, it's exactly what you think it is, as the movie says. We open up and there's a little boy putting a puzzle piece together, and you think, well, all's good and well. His mom walks in on it. Then you see he's putting together like a pornographic puzzle piece. So she gets all hateful with him. He brings out the axe. We flash forward now to years, and we're on a college campus, and something happens which kind of triggers this person to go back on a rampage. So he begins basically dissecting people at the school in order to piece together the puzzle that he wants to put together. And we'll leave it there in case you haven't seen it. One boy, which is kind of a man whore, gets involved in it. And they put a undercover, hot, detective cop lady on the scene as well, and she's helping him. And the movie just gets gory. There's scenes that don't make a lick of sense. Like there's a man carrying chainsaws on elevators and hiding them behind his back, and nobody notices it. There's a random scene where Bruce Lee, not the Bruce Lee, but Bruce Lee, shows up for a very random kung fu scene and then disappears again. And then it all leads to probably, next to Sleepaway Camp, one of the most surprising and shocking and out of left field endings you're going to find in a horror film. So this movie has it all, and this release really does have it all. There's the slipcase. Let me get to this, and hopefully I don't show nothing I'm not supposed to show here on YouTube, so bear with me here, and don't report me if I do. There's the soundtrack. I'll get my hand off up. There's the soundtrack. There is a puzzle that comes with this. I have the puzzle, but I didn't bring it in here because I didn't want to mess up and show it, because it's the pornographic puzzle that the kid's putting together at the start of the film. The first 3,000 copies of this actually come with that, and I have that, but I did not want to risk showing it, so it's not here. There's the basic version here. Now, there's going to be a basic release of this that's not going to have the puzzle or the soundtrack. I think that's going to come on this, or come like this, I should say. But there's that. That's kind of like the old school art inside it. Break things down, and there's the 2-disc, and there's that. And if you've been to my website, I've showed this a million times over. But like I said, this is, for my money anyway, the best release I think we're probably going to have this year. Now, that covers some ground, because I know Arrow did the 4K Deep Red, which I have on the way. But I don't know, man. Just for a cult title like this to get this kind of treatment, like you kind of expect that with Deep Red, but you don't expect it with something like Pieces. And they went out of their way over at Grindhouse to give this everything. Now it's got some, it's got some Easter eggs. I'm not going to spoil those. So there's Easter eggs in here because Grindhouse is always good about putting Easter eggs into special features. But let me go ahead and try to read this laundry list of extras off to you real quick right here. 2 complete versions of this shocking gore classic: the American Pieces 83-minute cut, which is the original unrated U.S. theatrical version, presented in English, and then the Italian version, 86 minutes, the original uncensored director's cut, presented in Spanish with original score by Roberto Pastro. Spectacular 4K transfers came from the original camera negative, which looks every bit as good as they make it sound like it does. Brand new audio commentary by star Jack Taylor, special 5.1 audio option, the Vine Theater Experience, which that's like the crowd sounds, it goes with it, you know what that is. In-depth interviews with director Juan Piquer Simon, close I hope, and genre superstar Paul L. Smith. 42nd Street Memories. This is that full-length documentary talking about the Grindhouse days, you know, with theater and everything that come with that. Well, great documentary. Probably could have put that on its own disc and sold it solo, I think, and done good with it. But it's here. It's on the 88 Films UK Anthropophagus release as well, but that's Region B. Here, if you're Region A only, you can get the same documentary, which is very, very much worth watching. Extensive gallery of stills and poster art, exhaustive filmographies. So that's filmographies. Liner notes by legendary horror journalists Chase Baldwin, I guess, and Rick Sullivan. Bonus CD original soundtrack album, newly remastered from the original studio tapes, and more surprises. And this, by the way, is reaching A, B, and C if you are in the UK and you want this. Everybody can enjoy it, and I do think you need to get it and enjoy it. As Grindhouse continues to knock out of the park every single release that they have put out for the past, I don't know, decade it seems like. Because I remember when they first came out with the DVD of this, and I had a special order at Hastings, and very much worth the effort. This is very much worth the effort as well if you want to check this out. So that's Pieces. That's the great cover there. You don't have to go to Texas for a Chainsaw Massacre, and it is exactly what you think it is.